You're listening to 102.7 Chop FM, and this is Arts Talk. Good evening. This is 102.7 Chop FM, and you're listening to Arts Talk. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And this show is dedicated to bringing the arts to Newmarket. Not just the musical arts, although there's always lots of musicians on this show, but any artist practicing any discipline, be they amateur or professional. If you're in the arts and would like to appear on Arts Talk, then we'd like to hear from you.
You can get in touch with us by looking us up on Facebook. That's facebook.com/artstalkradio, or send us an email. That's artstalkradio102.7@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you.
And don't forget to listen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock sharp-ish.
Ish.
And we'd like to
6 or
blame
7
station
today.
manager Gareth Stirrup
Gareth,
for
it's all your
this
fault.
particularly late start.
Thanks, Gareth.
To hear good music and find out what's going on in the independent arts scene. Our guests tonight are the one, the only Tribes of the Moon, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us tonight Cody, Jim, Jordan, and Jason, missing only Chris. We have 80% of
Correct.
Tribes of the Moon, and we're thrilled to have you guys here.
We're thrilled to be here, man. Thank you so much.
It's part 2 of Tribes of the Moon. Last time it was me and Cody.
Yes.
And now we have the whole gang. We got everyone here.
And so you were hoping to cover a bunch of ground that you didn't get to cover because...
Well, lots happened since
lot
then.
has gone
It was
on.
what, not this past summer, the summer before?
Yeah, it was still 2016.
Yeah, it was.
We had just finished our second show with the original lineup with you, so... Or no, we were just about to play the second show.
I think
That's
it was a little
right.
warmer.
Yeah, that's
But,
right. Yeah.
Lots happened.
A lot has happened, absolutely.
And so
wanna
how
hear
about
about it?
lineup-wise? Has there been changes in the lineup that we need to talk about?
Oh, definitely.
Let's hear the
100%.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've gone from a live lineup to more of like a solidified permanent lineup now,
Oh, okay.
which is it's obviously a nice thing to have.
It
And that's
is.
like as far as writing and the whole thing.
Yeah,
like
whole
you're,
shebang.
you're more of a unit, a group.
And this involved
effort.
recruiting or poaching musicians from other bands?
Yes, it did. Well, yeah, I guess technically it did. It started out, as Jim was saying, sort of as like a two-man operation, and then
Yeah.
bringing people in for the ability to be able to perform shows.
Yeah. And you had Taylor playing bass, for
Correct.
example.
Yeah, Taylor was in,
Yeah, it was
in
fun.
lineup
And piano.
1.0 and piano. That's right.
Piano.
That's absolutely right. And then once we finished the second show in November of 2016, we took some time off because it's holidays and there's people with families, et cetera, and then it was kind of a slow start to get going. In the new year, we wanted to just sort of shake things up and take it to the next level, essentially, and get rid of less of the live session people and more permanent members.
Was there something that happened that made you make that decision about moving to the next level?
I think that would be
I think that was always kind of a conscious goal from the beginning. It was just a matter of how we're going to achieve it. The only reason we even played live when we did in the first place is the first song was part of a compilation and there was a CD release party, so it was sort of a means of a necessity, to get something going really fast, which worked out great, and I couldn't be happier. I wouldn't change any of that. But going forward, I think the collective decision between me and Jim was we wanted to get it to be more of a band and have more people and have other creative minds contributing.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice too to have like the people we were able to work with off the top were talented people, and Chris was one of those first people. The one who's not here tonight. He has stuck around and become a full-time member and fulfilled that position. Whereas Taylor, someone like Taylor, did amazing, but a very very busy girl. So lots going on, and then other things that just didn't line up, so we had to go in different directions, and we even had tried other avenues before even like per se filling the drum position. Like we were thinking about maybe just doing with the drum programming, and then it kind of came to a point where we're like, no, that doesn't make sense now. We would really like to find someone that can bring the brain of a drummer into the operation, but also be the live end of things, right? So
Definitely. And it sounds so good. I'm so glad that you decided to go that route versus a program drum. I would have been so disappointed.
Thanks a lot.
You
Yeah.
guys are so good.
We did do a couple rehearsals with the program drums.
Well, that's okay. That's
just to keep
fine.
the wheels turning.
Yeah. Sure.
Because there was a period of time where we had everything but, and it was just like, okay, we got to rehearse, so how are we going to make this work? So, collectively, again, putting our heads together, okay, let's just run the drum tracks to the PA as we rehearse, but there was something
It's
missing.
the same. It's
Not
got a
totally
feel,
not.
right? The drums make such a difference.
Isn't it interesting though? Because of course the
And Dave
computer,
loves this 'cause
the
he's a
computer
drummer.
didn't speed up or get louder, but
Oh, yeah.
but you
But
lose
some-
that feel
Right.
element of playing with the drummer.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Sometimes the whole band speeds up and gets louder, and
That's
that
right.
needs
So
to
the
happen.
drummer just
right?
goes along.
So,
Totally.
The thing is too, like if you were to take a program drumming into like a studio scenario where you can humanize it and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's a lot less noticeable as to like just us hearing us playing against a recorded drum track live. It takes the soul out of it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
would
really
agree with
does. Like, and that's nothing to even do with it being too perfect. It just doesn't sound like a drum set, you know?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a drummer, I think that's awesome.
Yes, I think it's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. So, how did you guys find? How did you find each other? How did this happen? When did it happen?
It happened slowly, kind of naturally over the course of 2017. I think Jason was contacted. First we sort of propositioned Chris, and because he had played the first two shows with us, and we really didn't know where he stood in terms of do you want to just continue to play live, or do you want to be part of this. So we had asked him pretty much point blank, and he said, "Yeah, I'm into it." And once that was sort of established, then there was three, and then when it came to bass playing, we actually had Reno from Six of Swords come out and do some bass recording, and for a little while I think it looked like he was going to become part of the lineup, but not anyone's fault or anything like that. It just didn't work out for whatever reason, and the door's always open. We've been pals forever anyways, but Jason's been our bro for a long time and played with us in Swallowed by the Earth going back a couple years, so it just seemed like an easy thing to give him a ring and see what he wanted to do. And once we had him, then there was four, and then it was just a matter of trying to find the drums. So that was a little bit of a process, but we got Jordan on board now from Veil Unknown,
Woo!
and things have been going great ever
You guys
since.
sound fantastic. We saw Tribes of the Moon play their first show with the new lineup. What was it? November 17th
Yeah.
with the White Swan and Chainfall.
They're
On
cool.
the Verge. It was a killer show, but yeah, you guys were amazing. I was so proud of it. Like, I was just like, these are my
Thank you.
boys. And I don't really say that, but like I felt like
they
that. I was
kinda
like,
are,
oh
yeah.
my god, these sound
for
so
sure.
good.
You're like a bit like the mom of the group.
No, I'm not. I'm like this weird cousin or something.
Because the weird
I don't
person
know.
does that.
This is the second project we worked on together. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go.
Like I've seen these guys go from different. Yeah, so I was just really happy to see. you
We've
guys
seen
sound
each
so
other
amazing.
actually evolve.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I remember first meeting you when you were doing just a solo, sort of
Yeah,
a solo
that's
thing, and
all
then
I
brought a
had
band
going.
into it, and
Yeah.
and now you're doing bass.
It's
and
such a
and-
small world
and-
too, right?
oh,
Because then I met Jason
Brandon,
through the old
that you work
band
with.
that I was
Yeah.
in, and
yeah,
so.
very very incestuous scene here in Newmarket.
No, man. I almost swore there. It's ridiculous how like everyone's just in. Yeah.
It's the all-star team. That's all.
We love each other a lot.
That's it. A lot of,
Definitely.
A lot of
a lot
love.
of shared loving. Jordan, you're way over there, but is Veil Unknown still together? You're
Oh,
working
yeah.
both projects?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Veil Unknown has a show coming up. Was it January 5th or
13 or 14th?
So follow Veil Unknown too. Check it out because they throw some cool local shows, and
Yeah.
they're at the line in the Firkin pub. That's over by Gorham and Leslie.
Right on.
Yeah.
Your hi-hat foot a little injured there. What happened, bro?
A little bit. The day that I bought a new drum kit, I'm stacking my old drum kit, and my 10-inch tom just slipped from my hands right onto my foot.
Oh,
That's
Break-
fun.
Swelled up beautifully. It was
Nice.
a beautiful swell, and I waited a week, thinking that the swell was just going to go away, and it didn't. And
broken toe?
no, I got a fracture on
Oh my
top
gosh.
of my foot.
Guy's been playing though since that week he's talking about.
With
What?
the no way. He's been playing with a broken foot.
Oh yeah, and like
yeah.
Dude,
no
he's Bobby
problem.
Bond.
No
Unbelievable.
problem. Like,
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
insanity.
Wow.
might be playing faster now.
That's why he's got a fracture.
Totally.
So, what are you doing in terms of songs? I know that you've got a back catalog. You bring some songs.
Maybe we should listen to one.
Maybe we should.
should.
And then we can talk. Let's listen to one. Then we can talk about
Yeah.
songwriting after that
Yeah.
and how that's all going.
Let's
All
do
right.
that.
Sounds good.
So,
Yeah.
what are we going to start off with?
What did we say? We're gonna.
No
We're gonna
Surrender.
No Surrender.
Yeah,
The one that's
the
straight up
staple.
The hit
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anything we need to know about No Surrender?
It was the first single that came out in September 2016, and it was
Still
basic-
2-man at that point.
Still a two-man thing. Jim did all the vocals. I took care of all the music.
Is that right? You played every instrument?
Yeah, well, programmed the drums,
Okay.
but everything else, and recorded the sessions, produced the sessions. That was part of when I was still in school. That was part of it. But that song really got the door open for us and got things moving. So pretty important for us.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, this is Tribes of the Moon with No Surrender on 102.7 Chop FM.
Yeah.
No Surrender by Tribes of the Moon on 102.7 Chop FM. This is ArtsTalk. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And we are in the conversation with Tribes of the Moon. Good to have you here, guys.
Good to be here, man. Thanks again.
We got Jordan, Jason, Jim, and Cody. 4/5 of Tribes of the Moon. We're missing Chris. I wonder if Chris is listening. Do you think?
Hey, Chris.
I hope so.
Hi, Chris.
We miss you, Chris.
Yeah, we do.
We're talking smack about you off the air, Chris. No, just joking.
You're
Just
such
joking.
you just like to stir that pot there, don't you?
Just a little. See what happens. See if we get a reaction.
It's,
So we got Jordan and Jason sitting in the primo spots now. We thought we'd pick your brain a little bit. Jordan, and you're newest in the band now, would that be fair to say? Rookie?
Rookie? I wouldn't call him a rookie.
I'm a rookie. I'm new.
And
We call him fish around the practice.
hazing. Should we talk about the Tribes of the Moon hazing rituals for the rookies?
What did you guys do?
Probably not on the air.
Off
How have you found the material to learn?
I had to listen to the songs a lot.
Had you played metal before?
Yes, different kinds of metal, just not this kind of metal.
Because your other gig, I'd say, is more straight ahead rock, right? But,
It's harder.
Hard rock.
yeah, hard rock. I call it hard rock for sure.
Definitely.
You using the double kick pedal more with Tribes?
Definitely. Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going great, even with,
Jordan is wearing this
Cast on the
lovely...
foot.
This
Jordan broke his
cast.
foot.
it's still going great.
It's still going good. How long ago were you talking now that you joined?
Sorry?
How long ago did you join Tribes of the Moon?
2 months, 2.5 months.
And how big
Ish.
is the song list that you've had to learn?
Essentially, as long as the set we played on the 17th, so far.
Okay.
So like
6, 7?
6-ish tunes, something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Manageable.
One cover.
I think that, even if, 6 songs, you could learn 6 Ramones tunes in, an hour. But,
Yeah.
those songs, 6 songs, that's a lot of work.
It is,
that was,
yeah.
they're
'Cause
hard
there's
to
7
play.
minutes long on average, and there's
No.
11 different breakdowns,
Not Dream
and
Theater
Right.
we're talking
14
about.
tempo changes.
Yeah.
There are some, yeah. I don't know. It's a very cool.
Yeah, I remember talking to her when she was working with you guys, and
Right.
it's hard, man.
It was
The
hard.
rhythm section is not easy.
No.
Jason, am I right?
These are great.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult to learn some of the songs for me.
When did you learn, or when did you join at
I
least?
joined in April, I think.
In April.
Yeah, after I saw the first initial ad that they set out for a bass player and drummer. And then I was gonna contact Cody. Yeah, he ended up contacting me first because I was
Oh,
definitely
there you
interested.
go.
And then we
Your
had
reputation preceded you.
I guess we had cultivated a relationship before in Swallowed by the Earth. And,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
We have a good working relationship.
Does Swallowed by the Earth have any music online? You guys are a really interesting band. It was really cool.
I
So
think
different.
live stuff we do.
Yeah.
I believe so, but
Definitely
nothing
worth
Couple
checking
studio.
out.
full show.
There was no
one
studio,
full
so-
show. anyway,
Okay.
so-
There, there's actually on my personal YouTube channel any and all documented live footage, like video footage.
Yeah.
Daryl Bradley
is,
shoots.
is up
Nice.
there.
We love Daryl Bradley.
But that's
He's
about
the
it.
best.
That's about it.
Cool. Yeah.
And have you found that you've got a repetitive stress injury from Jason from playing bass in this band?
Yeah, a little bit. My fingers hurt a lot.
Oh my God! Yeah, you play without a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that. That's crazy.
I don't know why, but
Why? Yeah, why? What's the point?
I go
It
faster
sounds
actually with my
nice.
fingers
Oh,
for
yeah.
some reason.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy fast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There's a lot going on.
It's just how I learned.
Good for you.
How long is the list of tunes for Tribes of the Moon, Cody? Is it just the 6 or 7 that you're talking about, or how many have you got? Are there a bunch of stuff in the can?
What's considered what's actually tagged officially as Tribes of the Moon is I think 5 or 6, yeah. But there's ton. I've got a huge catalog of stuff. That's basically how the songs so far have started. It's germinating a little differently now that there's guys in the band. We're diving into writing together. But personally, I've got quite a big hard drive full of lots of songs that nobody's heard so far.
Cool.
So.
It's exciting. And so what's your process? Bring it to the band and lay it out?
Yeah, we've got a private Facebook group page that we all make a conscious effort of checking each day, and whenever I've got something that I think is at least presentable in terms of, it's at least it's realized to a point of where there's a start and an ending, or 2 riffs that sort of flow together. Then I'll, once I feel comfortable enough with myself showing it to anybody, period, I'll post it there and test the waters with these guys first. Basically depending on the amount of threads that post will generate, I'll know pretty quick whether people were digging it or not.
Yeah, that's
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in other words, if you hear nothing out of Jason, you figure he doesn't like it?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, if it's total silence, I'm like, well, I guess I'll
Nobody likes it, okay.
post another one. Yeah, next.
Yeah.
Totally.
How far back does that stuff go? Been right a long time?
I started home recording in 2008. So it's
Wow.
it's about a decade's worth of stuff.
Worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jim, you do a fair bit of writing yourself?
I used to do a lot more on my own. I started actually right around the same time that he did with the home recording stuff, and I've put together albums on my own. I've just never really done anything with them, so they're just kind of sitting there in the personal enjoyment bank. But good learning experience all the same. And then, you know, when I was doing the synthetic stuff, I mean, I wasn't really working on my own stuff because that was very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And now with this, I've just kind of actually gotten a recording rig back up and going with some better equipment now. And so I think there's probably stuff in the future coming from my end. I always like to diddle around with guitar riffs too, so I might even throw some ideas into the pot. But
And Jim plays keyboards too, so
Really?
watch out.
do a little drum programming. So I mean, I'll fiddle around. But as far as like Tribes goes right now, my end of things is really more on the vocals and the lyrics and minor arranging. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for Tribes so far, that's where it's been at. And I'm happy with that where it is right now. So.
Awesome. Jason, you doing any writing?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have a little bit of a different style than these guys have, but
What's your style?
I don't know. I don't know.
So we say more
Jason
folk,
playing
more
bass.
country folk?
Less aggressive,
Little
more like
bluegrass.
vibey. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I
guess
met
so,
you through Qualia, which was
Yeah.
kind of different than Tribe. Well, pretty different. Is that more of like how you seem to write naturally? Like a more
Yeah,
of
I
like a
guess so.
progressive, not necessarily always heavy?
Yeah.
Because there were some heavy parts in that band, but
That was somewhere that Jason really lent himself well to Swallowed by the Earth, is because there was,
Yeah.
like, although they weren't like progressively length songs, but like they
no,
had
you guys
more
were
of
all
a vibe
over,
to
yeah.
it. With this, it's more like he's come in on the sense that we know he's very, very technically proficient.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, whatever we can get out of that, either just be playing parts or writing the parts or writing songs or whatever, right?
Yeah,
It's it was just someone that we brought in that we're like, he's going to be able to handle it. So
for sure. But I think that you guys will be a perfect combination when it comes to writing together because a lot of compliments that I heard about Tribes of the Moon was that you guys really handle dynamics really well, and that like people would bring up like Deftones or bands like not. I would say that you're heavier than that, but you can dip into this like a bridge that's more melodic, and you definitely you're not just like your straight metal. So
Yeah,
I see good things.
I appreciate you saying that. That was something when Tribes started again, or like when me and Jim started working together again as a two-piece and then sort of deemed it Tribes. That was something that was definitely discussed openly because although our background is metal and Swallowed by the Earth was us definitely stepping outside of our comfort zone, we did learn a lot as musicians, and we learned a lot about melody and hooks and stuff, and that was definitely something when we came back to home base and started doing heavy stuff again. We wanted to bring that into it too,
Yeah,
and
good.
and make that a very important part of the sound.
It is important. It definitely kind of puts you aside. It gets you in your own category or your own sound. It's recognizable.
And the talk around town has been about how Jim is not just growling anymore; he's singing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a nice
hell,
little return for
Jennifer?
myself. Yeah.
Sorry. You said that to me one show. I was listening back. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
What
That's
the hell,
hilarious.
Jennifer? So yeah, Jim, to give us the background on that.
After we listen to this new song, how about that?
Why does he sing on this one?
Let's keep
No,
on our
there's no
toes.
vocals on it.
At all?
No.
Yeah, this is short too. This is 2.5 minute song. What the heck?
Oh, which one are we gonna?
We're
which
gonna
one are we
listen
looking?
Torn to shreds.
Torn to
Is that
Shreds
okay,
is
or
yeah.
do you
Torn
wanna-
to Shreds is one that's we were just talking about songs that I present to the band, and maybe they become something. This is something I presented to them recently, so this is a little bit more of a taste of something that
Okay.
comes directly from me.
Very
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
Very cool. We're
Okay.
like in the
And then we're gonna-
secret Facebook group of Tribes of the Moon right
Yes,
now.
we
This is
are.
what we get
Totally.
to
So
hear.
we get to render our opinion.
Yes.
So if there's silence after this song, Cody, you know we're not digging it.
Totally.
All right, this is Torn to Shreds by Tribes of the Moon on 102.7 Chop FM.
and accept to help me to create. Instead your life repeating to all the ones that need it. You might forget, but will never be forgotten.
I Will Remember by 102.7. By 102.7? No.
Me and Dave wrote that song, actually.
Yeah, we did.
That's me and Dave's new
That's
band.
Taylor and Dave with I Will Remember.
Tribes of the Moon.
Okay.
We'll remember Tribes.
Tribes of the Moon, forgive
When
me.
we steal their songs and run
Tribes
away.
of the Moon with I Will Remember
Sorry,
on
guys.
102.7
Yeah.
Chop FM. This is ArtsTalk. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And we are in conversation with Cody, Jim, Jordan, and Jason from Tribes of the Moon.
They wrote that song.
Who
They
wrote that
They
song?
wrote that song, not us.
So was that all you on that again, Cody, or you and Jim? What was on that?
The music, the guitars were done by me. The original bass track was done by me, but the version we just heard was actually with Jason's bass.
Awesome.
Killer.
Yeah.
These are that one's still in the demo phases too, just to be clear about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Which is funny because it was like one of your first, not funny, but one of the first songs you had, so it's really
Yeah, we
a lot
wrote-
of love and cares going into it.
We nitpick.
We
Yeah.
wrote that like 9 years ago. That
Wow.
song. Yeah.
No kidding.
That's the only one that's come along from when we were doing. We'd done like an album together that we never did anything with, but we were still both pretty fresh to the home recording stuff. So it's a good 9-10 years ago anyway, and that was a song that when we had started this, we're like, let's move this song forward. We still like it. We'd like to do something with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where do you record at home?
Yeah, but all at home. At least for me. I can record pretty much anywhere. You drop me into a studio, I could do it. But everything that I present to the band's done at my place. Yeah.
Now, have you done a full session with mic drums? Because it sounds like most of your recording has been with computer instruments.
Not yet, but that is coming in the new year.
That's a skill.
That is coming in the new year.
It does look the hardest thing to do.
I think
In
so.
recording.
In studio recording is
Yeah.
getting that drum micing right. Jordan, you got some experience with that. Did you use your acoustic kit to record the Veil Unknown record?
No, only a couple songs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the rest were all computer.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Interesting. So this would be new ground to cover.
Yeah, and I'm excited to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going back to letting things blossom, and that seems like the next natural phase for us
I
to
love that you
shift
guys
into.
you're taking that time, right? Like sometimes bands get a little bit too excited to record and jump into it really quick, but it's
Right.
nice that you have like a song like you're saying, it's 9 years old and it's still in a demo phase to you. Like you're really letting it blossom and letting everyone be involved and
Yeah,
Yeah,
wanting
the
it.
changes are like subtle sometimes. Sometimes they're major. Like you were just listening to, you heard like a
oh
subtle
yeah,
change
no,
there.
it's the same song essentially, but like I'm like, oh, I have a different version. I haven't heard certain things that I heard tonight. So yeah, it's very cool. You guys are
Yeah.
great. You're always growing.
Where should people look to find Tribes of the Moon music?
we've got an official Bandcamp page, which I believe is bandcamp.com/Tribes of the Moon. Our Facebook is facebook.com/Tribes of the Moon official. We have a SoundCloud page. I'm not sure if anyone ever uses that anymore.
I use SoundCloud.
You said
I listen to SoundCloud all the time. So
a little
Yeah.
thing called iTunes. No, I don't
Yeah.
think many people.
Apple
iTunes,
Music,
iTunes,
Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah, we're on there. Yeah.
terrific.
good.
YouTube.
Do you have upcoming releases? Like, do we have a date in mind? Maybe we can be excited for.
We have stuff in the works. We're planning. I think the plan right now is, and this is all tentative, but what we've been talking about is doing a single.
Okay, yeah.
Just to kind of get the public eye machine
Keep it
going
going.
again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then take time to do an EP. Hopefully all in the same year, but I mean realistically, who knows?
Yeah.
We got a little bit more writing to do, a little bit more, sorting things out to do, demoing to do, all that sort of stuff. But the one song we're thinking about moving ahead with as a single, we're pretty close to where we want to be with it. So hopefully early in the new year, we're thinking about doing just that, going in and
Cool.
doing some takes in the studio and with live drums and all that sort of stuff going on, and just putting that single out there. We'll have the 2 singles out. It's something for people get their hands wet, so to speak, with it, and good way to attract new attention, shows, all that kind of stuff, right? So,
Well, it's also, the reason that we sort of have been doing it the way we've been doing it and sort of plan to do it the way we're going to do it going forward with singles and smaller releases is, A, it's more cost efficient for us. Because being in a band, especially playing originals and it's metal, we're not swimming in a ton of dough. So
Right.
if we can release stuff that's, not going to empty our pockets and sort of, because once people start getting, financially drained, then the band becomes an expense. It becomes a
Yeah,
bill,
stress
and you see, we've been in enough bands and we've seen it before. So we're taking our time. We're taking things slow. We're going to release singles at a time. So, that's just the way you have to play the game,
Yeah.
especially going forward into
I feel like
2018.
it keeps everyone interested, like the band, the audience. Like if you can just give a little taste rather than like giving some.
Well, the way-
too much, not too
Well,
much.
that
but you know what I
and
mean?
the
Like,
way people, digest music now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I don't, for the most part, a lot of people only take in songs at a
Yeah.
time. The album format is up for debate whether it's
I am
whether it's
agreeing with you totally.
whether it's actually still a
Viable,
thing anymore.
yeah.
There's still people
A
that
lot more
exist that
EPs
listen,
nowadays
but
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do find different schools of thought on that.
Yeah.
How's the metal scene in Canada? Is it happening?
it's the same as there's metal acts that pop up and get some movement under them, like.
When I think of your style, I think of Europe, frankly. I think of Germany. I think of the Netherlands, where there's always seems to have been a persistent and consistently good audience for that kind of metal. Do you think about that at all? You're trying to market it over there?
I feel like there's a bit of an American metal to it too. I think, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think breaking into those markets is a whole different thing, right? It's just got to be something that just strikes the right chord, and Europe's a lot different. Europe, I find, is you probably have an easier time breaking into that because there's such a diverse taste in metal over there. Not to say that there isn't in the States, but it seems like the more
We see more
accessible
dedicated
metal seems
Yeah.
to get more of a little further in the States.
Yeah, it just seems like when you look at all the subgenres of metal, there's so many European bands.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
You guys will have to come back when you do your next single, and we can talk about this a little further.
Yeah.
We would absolutely love to.
That would be
We'll
wonderful.
make sure Chris comes too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Hey again to Chris. Sorry you couldn't be
Yeah,
here.
so you can be here, Chris, and we are about
are.
running to the end of our time here, guys. So I want to thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having me.
Awesome to talk to you.
you very
Stuff
much.
sounds great.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
very excited. There's obviously some excitement now about this alignment, this personnel. So wish you
Definitely.
really good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, man.
And as Taylor says, yeah, come on back when maybe when you got some stuff to in the hopper.
Yeah, let's
that
do
you
like
wanna-
spring, summer. Whenever you guys are ready, we're
Yeah.
with some new stuff. We'll meet up again.
We can talk about world domination.
The metal,
Definitely. We will.
metal dominant.
The metal world, the small slice of the world.
Metal up, Dave. Just
Metal
metal up.
up.
Okay.
Metal up, girl.
So you can tune in next week on Wednesday at
Yes.
6 o'clock. We're gonna do a 2000 best of 2017 show.
Year in review.
So if you've been on the show, you better listen in and
Better
see if
tune
we
in.
pick you.
See if you made the best of list.
Yeah.
Because there was some really goofy stuff happening in 2017.
There was like a lot of great stuff that happened in 2017. It was a weird year. It was a great year.
a weird year and a great year.
Yeah, it was huge. Just
Once
kidding.
again, our sincere thanks to Tribes of the Moon. We're going to go out of here with one more from them. This is We Are the Creators on 102.7.
Chop FM.